Yes, sir. How to prepare for change. All right. Let alone the song. What's up, YouTube? What's up, IMC TV? It's the one and only Master Mycellf. Salute to everybody tapping in. We're gonna get started shortly. Let me go ahead and just change this music one time. Dang. Yeah. We're gonna be talking about how to prepare for change, how to prepare for your new reality. As many of y'all know, we're moving to Vegas, and a little bit of delay, but we're still preparing for the changes and the transformation in the process. We're gonna tap in right after this. Salute, salute. Yeah. Make you never be the same. See one as a game. Just couldn't change. Didn't like to live in great. Till I know. I always go. So give me on. I just said I'm old school, babe. I'm trying to have a play. What I say, I ain't got much to say. Get it anyway. Let's go ahead and tap in, man. It's a pleasure and honor to be with you again. One and only Master Mycellf. All right, we're here live, tapping in from IMC Bakes 5. All right, it's going to be a powerful mastermind again. First and foremost, let's go through the rules. All right, first and foremost, know and understand everything that I do and say here is done under the banner of entertainment. All right, so you ain't got to take what I say serious. Number 2, this is, of course, for adults. That means as an adult, you're responsible for your own actions. Wait, that was number 4. Number 2 is you're an adult. That means as an adult, of course, you are responsible for your own actions, but I will treat you as an adult. So what I say may be explicit, right? If what I say is explicit, you've been warned, so don't have any kids in the room. Number 3, do not break the laws of the land you're tuning in from, wherever it is that you are. Unless those laws are oppressing you, and of course, you have the right to fight back. Number 4, this is for adults again, right? As an adult, you're responsible for your own actions, all right? So don't take what it is I say, take it out of context. Number 5, this is the master table, right? And I'm going to treat you as a master and nothing less than that, all right? So let's go ahead and tap in for the day, man. What a pleasure and honor it is to be in front of you again. Today, we're talking about how to prepare for your change, to prepare for your new reality. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, or the stream, this show, we are moving from the Phoenix area, right? Tempe specifically is where Base 5 is located at this point in time. We're going to be moving from here and moving to the Las Vegas area, right? And so in the process, dang, that's a great order. Dang, that's crazy. It's all good though. We'll go ahead and turn this off so I don't get distracted. We are in the process of changing and transforming, preparing ourselves for the change that is to come as we migrate from where we are to where we're moving into, right? So as we are in that process of changing and transforming and moving from where we are to where we want to be at in life, we have an opportunity again to move consciously into that new aspect of our reality, right? And so the change in which we are preparing for is a change that's happening on a level that is, you got to prepare yourself spiritually. You got to prepare yourself, of course, physically, mentally. But it's that change that you're preparing for that allows you to move from where you are to exactly where you want to be at in life, right? So I wanted to talk about this specifically because I know a lot of people are going through this process of change and transformation, so on and so forth. We're in a very, very important time right now in the year 2024 where things are lined up, things are aligned. When it comes to the cosmic alignment, and it comes to the stars and so on and so forth. Basically, point blank, and simple. Things are lined up, things are in alignment, so where things can manifest for you, things can go from not existing to existing, if you know how to take advantage of this time, this area, this era, right? This time period, if you will, right? So we're going to talk about being prepared for that, preparing yourself for that change, whatever that may be for yourself. And dang, wait, today's the 29th. This AZD's birthday. That's crazy. Wow. All right. Well, good to know. So in the process of you changing from where you are to where you want to be at in life, you want to be prepared. You want to start to use your mind to prepare yourself for the next moment, right? And so how do you do that? Well, put yourself in the shoes of the individual or the person or the spiritual being that you are. Put yourself in the future tense, right? So, think from the place of you already being exactly where you want to be at, doing exactly what you want to do, having exactly what you want to have. Just imagine that, right? We have the ability to utilize our minds to think forward, right? To not think about what's happening right now. Not only think about what's happening right now, because ultimately we're always thinking and having an experience that's happening right now. But you have the ability to look forward, right? Look towards your future and see consciously what it's like to be in the position, to be in the creative seat, to be in the captain's seat, right, of your life. So think about that, right? Now you're in that position. You are already doing exactly what it is that you want to do. How do you feel at that point in time, right? In order to prepare for the change that's going to come, you got to get used to the feeling, right? So what's the feeling of, you being exactly where you want to be and doing exactly what it is that you want to do, right? Maybe you want to have a business. Maybe you just want to stop working a 9 to 5. Maybe you want to help your family, make it to the next level of their finances, a different level of freedom. Maybe you want to, get a brand new car, a brand new motorcycle. Maybe you want to, acquire a, connection or a network, if you will, right? That helps you to expand and do what it is that you're called to do. Maybe you, have a some kind of life purpose, whatever that is that you do. Now's the time to prepare yourself for that. And how you're going to prepare for that is you're going to tap into that feeling, right? So what's the feeling of that next version of yourself, whatever that may be, right? Now, there seems to be some kind of distance between you and that version, or you and that feeling or that reality, right? It's only because you haven't practiced it, right? But there's been, studies after studies. I had the opportunity, I was reading a little bit earlier today from a book that's called Becoming Supernatural, right? It's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And essentially, he goes through, it's very early on in the book, you know what I'm saying? But he goes through this series of stories, if you will, where he's talking about one of his, clients or patients, or, however it is, basically students, that, was continuously tapping in. Her name was, I believe her name was Anna. And so Anna, he goes through the story and basically, or the stories, and, basically you see the progression of her living in one storyline, meaning she had cancer at some point. She was, essentially just, losing her basically her husband committed suicide. She was losing touch with her kids. She was, things weren't working out of her job. She was working like 3 jobs. She just basically had this whole, world of experience that at the time she didn't realize that she had created that. But as she began to start to change, she was coming to understanding of like how the mind really works and what's really happening in this lifestyle. Essentially what she created. She learned that she created all those situations and circumstances that she found herself in. And so recognizing that, we began to, or we, when I was reading, right, I began to understand the, process of change is simply, it seems so simple for me because, I'm a practitioner, for me and all the brothers within IMC Nation, we are practitioners of these philosophies in which we speak on, right? It's not just something that we talk about, because we do a lot of talking about it, right? We do a lot of mastermind conversations and so on and so forth. But it's something that we can live from, or that we have lived from. We've all experienced something. And I really want to say everybody in this world has experienced not having something to having something, right? So in that process and that change, as she was, coming to this point of realization of how much she was creating her old reality, she also was able to perceive, as she continued to stay, dedicated and disciplined to her practices of meditation, her practices of, breathing, her practices. I think those are really the only two techniques. There was a couple of other steps, but those are the main things, right? Breathing and meditation that allowed her to drop her current situation and circumstance and begin to create the new one, right? So the major key of how to create that new experience, or how to prepare, right, for that change, was her constantly tapping into that feeling, the feeling state, right? So what is the feeling of how Neville Goddard says, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, right? The thing that you want, the thing that you have, whatever that is, it's a feeling, right? So you want to get familiar with that feeling. That's how you're going to best prepare yourself for that new reality. Because, whether you believe it or not, every single day you're creating the reality in which you experience based off of these feelings that you have internally, right? So what is that feeling for you, right? That feeling of success, that feeling of achievement, that feeling of, having exactly what it is that you want, whatever that is. Tap into that feeling. That feeling is what's going to create that change, right? And so in the preparation of that, you want to start to, there's this whole example they went through in the book also, where she got to the point in the consistency, and that's really what the major key is in this. But she got into the point where she was doing, they basically described her standing and doing this meditation, where she got into the point, or into the feeling state, where she felt herself in a new reality. And then from that standpoint, she was able to basically open her eyes. She got to the feeling state. So imagine closing your eyes, getting to the feeling state of you having exactly what it is that you want, right? So let's say that you want a cup of coffee. Let's do something very simple. You want a good cup of coffee, that you made for tomorrow, right? So get the feeling state of what it's like to get that drink of coffee, or have that drink of coffee and have it, just how you want it, nice and hot. You got the cream that you want in there, the sugar that you want in there, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you do to prepare that coffee, just to get into that feeling state of, man, how good is that coffee tasting when you put it into your body? And how it wakes you up, how it fulfills these different parts of your body at the time in which you're drinking, right? Not only is it satisfying by taste, but it's satisfying by spirit, right? Boom. So there's a feeling that I'm tapping into right now that I can access and say, man, that's going to be a great feeling as I move into my future, right? So think about having that, or think from, right, having that feeling. And then as you're feeling that, now live with that feeling, right? So essentially in the book, they went through this experience, or this example of her getting to that feeling state while she was standing up, and essentially began to move forward, right? When I say move forward, she actually began to walk, right? With that feeling, right? And so imagine you getting to that feeling state. This is kind of like advanced, you know what I'm saying? But get to that feeling state, getting to that feeling place, and then moving with that in mind, right? So if you're going for a walk, you go for a run, maybe you work out. Imagine you are carrying that feeling continuously from this moment into the next, and from that moment into the next, and so on and so forth, right? So it's a feeling that you can continuously supercharge, right, or amplify. That feeling is what's going to allow you to transcend this reality, right? So maybe you're, most of the time, this is a situation why most people don't hold on to the feeling, right? Because it seems like a very simple thing, and it is, right, when you're practice study. But it takes consistency, you doing that, building up that feeling state. But then once you do that, you got to learn to drop everything else, right? Because your reality is going to tell you something different. Maybe, you walk out the house and, somebody is treating you as if you, were your old conditioned self, right? Or, maybe you forget that feeling, right? At some point in time, something happens in the outside, this didn't work out for you. This didn't happen for you, so on and so forth. Like, these things don't always line up how we feel on the inside. But the key is to make that the dominant state, the dominant feeling, like we were talking about last cycle, the state of mind that you choose, right? As you choose that feeling, as you choose or not that feeling, but as you choose that state of mind, you can use that state of mind to muster up the feeling of what it is that you want, right? So with the right state of mind, the right state of mind, the right frame, the right context, you're looking at things in a certain way. As you're looking at something in a certain way, tap into that feeling, right? What's the feeling of you moving and acting and interacting with life from the feeling of having exactly what it is that you want? With the right frame of mind, which means with the right lens that you're looking at life, and then the right feeling. Now we have something that is a motion, right? Energy and motion, emotion, right? With the right emotion, the right thought, and the right emotion, this creates a behavior, right? That comes as a result of you having the right thoughts and the right emotions. Now, this is a creative process that exists in every single spiritual being, right, on this planet. Each of us has this, and it's a continuous process that it never ends. The difference is that most people don't realize that they have this creative function. Most people don't exercise this creative function because they don't take the time to understand their mind, understand themselves, understand, anything about this universe that we live in, right? We live in a universe of laws, right? So this law that we are whether you're aware of it or not, it's constantly in universal laws exist whether we believe in them or not, right? Universal laws are in action whether you are abiding by them or not, right? So these universal laws are the stepping stones, right, that allow us to build upon the right foundation so that we can create exactly what it is that we want, right? So whatever that may be for you, I want you to know and understand that, you coming into alignment with these laws, you having the thoughts and the emotions, right, of what it is that you desire, that's enough for you to change your reality, right? Not only change your reality, but be prepared for what's to come. Because, oftentimes when you are expecting or desiring to manifest something, right, you want something to come to you, you oftentimes don't understand or consider the details of what that may look like. Yeah, you might want a new car, but are you ready to pay for that new car? Or you may want, these connections, what I'm saying, that allow you to be connected to such and such and so on and so forth. But what are you going to do with those connections, right? What is the next step? What are the details that surround the thing that you want, right? Whatever that may be, you got to be prepared, and you got to constantly prepare yourself. So how do you prepare yourself? Well, that whole process in which we just went through, the meditation, the mental practice, the dedication, right, to you pushing through and getting to that feeling states of what it is you want. Because, look, trust and believe, sometimes it's going to be easy. It's going to be very easy for you to just tap into that feeling state of, okay, man, this is what I want, so on and so forth. But not only this is what I want, this is what I can see myself having, right? So let's say that you want a music studio of some sort. All right, cool. That's what you want. What's it gonna feel like to be in that music studio? What's it gonna feel like to create music from that studio? What's it gonna be like to have conversations in that studio? What's it gonna be like to take video and record a music video of some sort, or whatever that creation may be, right? So you get into that feeling state, and that feeling state is enough, right, to carry you from this moment into the next moment, right? So you get familiar with that feeling. That feeling, once again, is enough for you to propel yourself in the right direction and prepare yourself for what's to come, all the details that you are not yet made aware of, right? But the more that you play around with this imagination that we have, right? Once again, I've said it many times, but I believe that one of the most powerful faculties, of our mind as spiritual beings here on this planet Earth is our ability to utilize our imagination. Like there's my favorite book, if anybody gets a chance, my favorite book, it's like a Bible for me, is The Power of Imagination by Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard is a Christian mystic that has constantly, when I say constant, I mean daily, well, not daily, but years, you know what I'm saying? For years and years and years was teaching the power of imagination, right? And has many different case studies, has many different, testimonies and teachings, you know what I'm saying? You can just type it in on YouTube. That has been a testament to, the concepts and the ideals of how to utilize your imagination, right? So without going too deep into that, man, like all it comes back to is, he has a book called The Power of Awareness, and in that book, there's a chapter. It's one of my favorite chapters. It's called "Feeling." It's called "The Feeling Is the Secret." Right? The feeling state of what you desire is the only thing that's been missing when it comes to your creative function. Because look, it's easy to think about what it is that you want, right? It's easy to have that thought, and it's not as easy to. Oh man, I meant to go live on YouTube. What's this thing called? IG. It's not as easy as to maintain the feeling, right? Because you're going to be surrounded by opportunities. Hold on, real quick. What I call this? How to prepare for what's coming next. It's not going to be as easy, right, to maintain the feeling, right, of what it is that you want. Now we can all think about what it is that we want, right? So like your reality, your next reality, whatever it is that you desire, is a thought, right? And that thought you can use once again to kind of zoom in or use your. It's like the analogy is like a flashlight, right? So if your thoughts are on a wall, right? The thought that you're paying attention to is where you're shining your light, right? Where you're shining your flashlight at, right? So your attention, your consciousness, your awareness it matters to the point where you can choose what you want to focus on. That's the easy part, right? Because when you choose to focus on the good and not the bad, then you're gonna constantly develop and gather, certain thoughts that are going to be like that thought. So if you have the thought that, I'm a creator, I'm, successful at being me. I am, the only version of me. I am, the best version of me. I am, the best that I can be. These are thoughts that once again you can constantly think and focus on, if you will. But those thoughts are not meant to be just thought alone. They are meant to be compared or compiled, combined, right, with the emotion of what it is that you want. So there's a thought and then there's an emotion. This combination, once again, is what changes our behavior, right? And that's what we ultimately want, right? We want to change our behavior, prepare ourselves for this next reality that which we're stepping into. Because again, whether you believe it or not, you're in a season of change, you're in a season of transformation, you're in a season of evolution. And where you find yourself right here, right now, is an opportunity for you to create the change that you're seeking down the line, right? By you preparing right now, right? So what are you going to do right now to prepare yourself for what's coming, right? Whatever that may be for yourself. So this is where we go back to our process and our habits that we have, for the last 4 years, which is crazy to say. In IMC Nation, this has been our due diligence, is figuring out our process, figuring out what are the habits that we're going to have every single day that create the lifestyle in which we want to live from, right? So from the breathing to the cold showers, to the wake up times, to the affirmations, to the yoga, to the meditation, to the whatever your spiritual practices are, right? There's an array of them. You know what I'm saying? For me, I can add prayer, I can add let's say affirmations, I can add stretching. Like there's so many different details, but it's the process that leads you to that new reality. It leads you to that new version of yourself that you're going to experience, right? No matter what you're doing is you're lining it up for yourself. Like you're preparing yourself for the change and transformation that you want. Ultimately, nobody else is going to know what it is you want because it's unique to you. So how you prepare is going to be unique to you, but it's being conscious of this season of preparation that allows you to smoothly transition into exactly what it is that you want in your life, right? So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up in about 4 minutes here. But if there's any questions, you know what I'm saying, I'm here live also on IG. And just pause. So once again, this is the season, it's the opportunity for change and transformation. So how you prepare now is what's going to lead you into your future, right? And that's what exactly we want to be conscious of. You want to be conscious of the way that you prepare. So how am I preparing, you know what I'm saying, to go to Vegas? Well, I'm handling all the communication lines, you know what I'm saying, that need to be handled, right? I need to, convey to this person, yo, I'm not going to be here, I'm moving, right? I need to disclose to anybody that I hadn't. So I mean, there's all kinds of communication lines that I've had for years that I'm now bridging the gap on, and I'm saying, yo, I want you to know I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? And if there's any other communications that we need to have, salute, what's going on, brother. If there's any other details that we need to iron out, let's handle that right now. You know what I'm saying? Before I go ahead and move on to this next chapter, because when I move on, there's no going back, right? I'm taking what it is that I'm intending to build here in Phoenix, and I'm taking that out to Vegas, and I'm amplifying what it is that I've been creating for the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? When you see me, I'm not just me. I am IMC Nation. I am all my brothers. You know what I'm saying? So as we are moving and migrating to this new era, this new chapter, we're in a season of preparation that leads to that, right? So at how I'm preparing again is, doing these live streams on a consistent basis, talking about these things, having different conversations, closing out these communication lines that need to be closed out, preparing my mind, you know what I'm saying? Obviously preparing the space, right? To change, transform, and move on, right? Salute, what's going on? So I'm in this constant space where I'm learning how to bridge the gap from where I am right now to exactly where I want to be at in life, right? And so, this show, for example, is one reflection of that. The creation I do on YouTube, the creation I'm doing on Instagram, the creation I have in these different areas or different avenues, right, that I use to bridge the gap, right, from where I am now to exactly where I want to be at in life, right? And I'm creating that daily, every single day, right? I don't know all the details, but I create it. I create it first in my mind, and I find, what action can I take today, right? That are going to lead me to that season of change, transformation, so on and so forth. All right. So that's where we at with it. Let's go ahead and close out and go ahead and get off of IG here. Just a quick session on IG here. But how we're going to end is we have this process called the meditative moment. So we take 5 minutes, right, to essentially tap into the world inside. So 5-minute timer starts now. This is an important moment because we now take time to defocus from the outside world and now tap into our inner space, right? Our inner place, right? Our sanctuary that's from the inside, all right? So with your eyes closed, you have the space, you're in a place where you can tap into your world inside, and now's the time to close your eyes. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it out, relax. Dropping all that outside tension, breathing in, the positivity, breathe in. And let it out, all that negativity. Breathing in again. This time hold it. 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Relax even deeper. Take another deep breath in. Filling the lungs, letting it out. Sending yourself from the inside out. One more breath in through the nose. And let it out. So although you relax, aware and present of your inside world, tap into your inner space, enjoy your peace for the next 3 minutes here, and we'll close out right after this. So come to the final 40 seconds. This exercise. Just take the time to appreciate yourself for taking time to work on you. Spend time inside of yourself. This is the place where everything originates. From the darkness of your mind, you shine the light of your consciousness. And whatever it is that you shine the light on, you get more of on the outside. Take one final deep breath in through the nose. And let it out. I'd like to thank you for tapping in with the Master's Table. It's the one and only Master Mycellf. We're here live every single Monday, here live on IMC TV. All right, so it's a pleasure and honor. As always, this was how to prepare for the change that you seek in this life. All right, until next time, what we always say in IMC Nation is be the best and fuck the rest. What I say as Master Mycellf is knowledge itself is knowledge of wealth. It's the one and only Master Mycellf tapping out.